stop scrolling. Because if you have a Norwegian Cruise Line trip booked, this could completely change your plans or cost you a lot more than you expected. Imagine this. You wake up, coffee in hand, checking your email, and realize your dream cruise? It's gone. Canceled. Just like that. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now for thousands of NCL passengers. Norwegian Cruise Line has just dropped a wave of massive updates. Over 50 cruise cancellations, new onboard fees, restrictions on room service, and even a rule that means your drink package won't work on their private island anymore. And just when we thought we'd seen it all, there's more. These changes affect how you eat, how you relax, how you book, even how you feel on board.So stick with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm breaking down the 7 shocking new changes that every Norwegian cruiser needs to know before they set sail, or even think about booking. Hey cruisers, I'm your cruise advisor. If you love cruise hacks, honest updates, and real talk about what's really happening at sea, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because today, we need to talk about what's going on with Norwegian Cruise Line. Point 1. Mass cancellations and fleet redeployments. Let's start with the big one. The one that's left thousands heartbroken. Norwegian Cruise Line has officially canceled over 50 sailings between now and 2027. 50. Entire vacations, gone. Ships like the Norwegian Gem, Dawn, Breakaway, and Getaway have all been hit. NCL calls it fleet optimization. But for cruisers who've been planning for months, sometimes years, it feels more like chaos. The Gem and Dawn, 2 nearly identical ships, have literally swapped homeports, Tampa and Jacksonville. In doing so, every single sailing on both ships was canceled. Imagine the heartbreak. Anniversary trips, honeymoons, family reunions, wiped out with one corporate email. Yes, passengers are being refunded. But there's no price protection if you rebook. So that $2,000 cabin you once had, it might now cost $2,800 for the same itinerary. Behind the polished press release, the real reason seems to be port congestion. Florida's major ports are overloaded, especially with shorter 3- and 4-day cruises. And NCL simply can't turn the ships fast enough. So, if you're booked for 2025, 2026, or 2027, check your itinerary now. Because what's confirmed today could vanish tomorrow. 2. $5 main dining room entree charge. This next change is the kind that makes loyal cruisers literally shake their heads in disbelief. Picture this. It's evening, the dining room is alive with laughter and clinking glasses. The scent of fresh seafood and sizzling steak fills the air, and you're torn between the perfectly cooked salmon and that juicy, mouth-watering steak. On most cruise lines, you'd simply order both and enjoy. No problem. But on Norwegian Cruise Line, that freedom is disappearing. Starting this year, NCL has implemented a new policy. You get only 1 entree included per meal in the main dining room. Want to try a second dish? That will cost you $5. Now, $5 might not sound like much, maybe the price of a coffee at a cafe, but it's the principle that stings. For decades, freestyle cruising has been about choice and flexibility, about the joy of exploring new flavors without being nickel and dimed at every turn. And now, that freedom comes with a price tag. NCL defends the change by saying it's designed to reduce food waste. They argue that if passengers order multiple dishes, too much food ends up being thrown away, and this fee encourages people to be more mindful. But the cruise community isn't buying it. For many, this feels like a blatant money grab, a first step in what some fear could be a long list of incremental charges. After all, other major cruise lines, Princess, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, still allow guests to order multiple entrees without any extra fee. It's not just about $5. It's about the experience you signed up for. You book a Norwegian cruise to indulge, to explore, to savor your options, and suddenly, that experience feels restricted, controlled, and commercialized. And let's not forget the ripple effect. Couples wanting to share tastes, families trying to let kids try different options, friends sampling dishes together. Suddenly, all of these little joys now have a cost attached. This one change may seem small on paper, but for cruisers who've grown up with NCL's freestyle philosophy, it's a symbolic shift. The cruise that once felt carefree now feels measured, calculated, and for some, less fun. 3. Great Stirrup K drink package restriction. Now, this next change really blindsided people. Starting March 1st, 2026, your NCL drink package will no longer work on Great Stirrup K, Norwegian's private island in the Bahamas. For years, cruisers loved that this was the one stop where your onboard drink package worked. You'd step onto the sand, grab a beach chair, and enjoy cocktails under the palm trees. All included. Now, not anymore. You'll either need to pay for each drink separately or purchase a new island-only drink package. The only complimentary beverages left are water, juice, and iced tea. For many passengers, this feels like a betrayal. They already paid hundreds for a premium drink package, and now they're being told it doesn't cover NCL's own island. It's not just a change of policy. It's a change in trust. 4. Room service restrictions. Same fees, fewer options. Room service has always been one of those quiet little luxuries at sea. It's the freedom to enjoy a late-night burger in your cabin, breakfast in bed while watching the sunrise over the ocean, or a quick sandwich after a long day exploring a port. It's convenience, comfort, and a little personal indulgence. The kind of small touches that make cruising feel special. But starting October 2025, NCL is putting tighter limits on what you can order. The new policy allows each guest to order just one hot item and one cold item per delivery. Now, the fees haven't changed. $4.95 for breakfast, $9.95 for the all-day menu, plus a 20% gratuity. On the surface, that seems fair. But here's the frustrating part. If you try to order more than your one hot and one cold item, you could now be charged twice. Imagine this. You're in your cabin, craving a burger and a hot dog, two classic comfort foods. Under the new rules, that could trigger two separate $9.95 service fees, plus gratuity. Suddenly, what used to feel like a small treat now comes with a complicated cost calculation. For a cruise line that built its brand on freestyle dining, the freedom to eat whenever you want, whatever you want. These restrictions feel almost like a betrayal. It's no longer about enjoyment. It's about monitoring and limiting choices. And it's not just about the money. It's the experience that's being taken away. Room service isn't just food delivered to your cabin. It's convenience, it's comfort, it's part of the magic of being at sea. Limiting it makes the cruise feel more structured, more rigid, and a little less carefree. Passengers are already calling it petty and unnecessary, and it's clear that many longtime NCL fans are questioning whether the freestyle cruising they loved is slowly becoming a thing of the past. 5. Freestyle Daily goes downhill. This one's bittersweet. Remember the Freestyle Daily, that printed schedule placed on your bed each night, showing tomorrow's shows, events, and activities? Gone.NCL is going fully digital that you'll now have to use the NCL app to view your daily schedule. If you want a paper copy, you'll have to request one from guest services. Sure, it's eco-friendly, but for many longtime cruisers, it's another piece of tradition quietly disappearing. And no more circling the evening show, no more highlighting the trivia contest, no more paper souvenir to take home. It's convenient for some, but soulless for others. 6. $10 no-show fee for specialty dining. Next up, dining penalties. If you've booked a specialty restaurant on board and you cancel within 2 hours of reservation or show up 15 minutes late, you'll now be charged a $10 per person fee. NCL says this is meant to reduce no-shows and wasted tables. But in practice, it's frustrating for families and groups. Booking systems glitch, time zones confuse people, shore excursions run late, and guests are finding themselves penalized for things beyond their control. It's not just a fine. It's a feeling that the company is starting to treat guests more like numbers than people. 7. Loyalty status recognition across brands. Finally, some good news. And finally, a rare bit of positive news. Norwegian Cruise Line has launched shared loyalty recognition across its sister brands, Oceania Cruises and Regent Seven Seas Cruises. That means if you're a Platinum member on NCL, you'll enjoy equivalent status perks when sailing on Oceania or Regent. It's a long overdue change that rewards brand loyalty and encourages passengers to explore other ships in the NCL family. For seasoned cruisers, it's one of the few recent updates that actually feels like a win. Whether these updates are about efficiency or profit, one thing is certain: cruising with NCL won't feel quite the same again. For some, these changes are deal breakers. For others, it's just part of the evolution of cruising in a post-pandemic world. But one thing's for sure: the next time you step aboard, read the fine print. Because the ocean may be calm, but behind the scenes, the cruise industry is anything but.